Welcome back to the Means Report. We appreciate you staying with us. Thanks again to Commissioner Pulliam. And now it is time to focus on a very special event that's coming up on September 7th this year. It's been held every year for the past many to remember what happened on September 11th, 2001. Can't believe it has been more than 2 decades ago. But we're going to talk about the event here in Augusta and what the Tunnel to Towers Foundation does to help people, help our veterans, our first responders in many aspects of their lives. And Joe Weber, who is with the Office of Critical Event Preparedness and Response, he's the director of it, that's CPAR for short, is with us. Joe, thank you for your time.
No, thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. And next to Joe is John Ryan, the CPAR coordinator. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
So let me stay with you, John, and just kind of talk about the origin story of Tunnel to Towers. It was to honor firefighter Stephen Siller and how he was such a hero, like so many others, on September 11th, 2001 in New York City. Remind everybody what he did.
So no shortage of heroes on 9/11.
Yeah.
Everyone has a story and everyone remembers where they were, and we'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. But Stephen's story is particularly impressive and was the birth of this tremendous effort from his family and supporters. Stephen was a firefighter with FDNY, as you mentioned, and off duty on that Tuesday morning.
Off duty.
Beautiful Tuesday morning in New York City and the surrounding metropolitan area. And as the events unfolded, everyone, of course, wanted to help. You know, how can we help? What can we do? And for the members, the men and women of FDNY and New York Police Department, et cetera, it was to get into the city and to go to work. There was a tremendous job to be done. Stephen, being off duty, was out of the city, and because it was such a unique, unprecedented event, the city was locked down. So the bridges were closed, the tunnels were closed. There was no way in or out of the city. And so he needed to don or put on his protective gear that he had in his pickup truck and run through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. And to get to the towers, he ran through the tunnel. And of course, in an effort to save lives there, perished with 342 brothers. But that effort was memorialized by his family in the foundation being named Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
And so here we are 23 years later, that foundation starting just a couple of months after 9/11, 2001. Joe, I'll ask you what you do. In my mind, and as I told the viewers, you help first responders and you help veterans. Is it mainly to get them a home or a smart home if they need that accessibility? Is that the primary way Tunnel to Towers helps?
Well, I'm proud to support Tunnel to Towers because I believe that they understand and they embody the mantra that they utilize, which is let us do good while we can. Mm-hmm. And that's something that internal to CPAR, we always, try and end our meetings internal, let's do good. Mm-hmm. Focus on what can we do to maximize our impact to our local community, our university, Augusta, and the foundation embodies that. In fact, they're rated 93 cents out of every dollar that is raised for the foundation goes straight to mission. And you mentioned a couple of the things that they really focus on. One of being which is the ability to provide mortgage-free homes to our servicemen and women, wow, as well as our first responders who are killed in the line of duty. They also provide scholarships to those service members and our first responders' families who have children, where they can, enjoy the ability to go to pursue education with just a little bit less stress, knowing what they've had to endure as a family and what they sacrifice for our country and for their community.
You take such a burden off of people, and I don't want to cut you off. I just want to make sure we cover as much ground as possible. John, either one of you can field this question, and it's how does somebody come to you and say, please give me some of the things that Joe is talking about, or do you all notice where the needs are and you go to the people?
So a little bit of both. The foundation has a tremendous presence nationwide, website, commercials on different media outlets.
Yeah.
And so there is that forward-facing presence with 800 numbers and easy contact availability to say, if somebody needs to reach out and ask for help, they can. At the same time, on a more local level, we champion events like the one that we're going to be doing on September 7th. Yeah. The 5K associated with the city's memorial for 9/11 to where people can come out and get engaged. And if there's some need that we're unaware of at that point, is usually the starting point where somebody can ask for help, and we can hopefully be the conduit to link them with the right resources that the foundation has to help them get wherever it is they need to get to.
How about that event on September 7th? It has gotten bigger and better, and it's always so special each year. Are you impressed by the turnout each year and just the way everything comes together?
Well, I think we're just humbled to be a part of something bigger than ourselves and provide an opportunity to help maintain the pledge that we all made to never forget, and provide an opportunity for the leadership within our community and our university to come together and host a memorial ceremony that invites members of our community. We have the Davidson Fine Arts, the very talented students that come in to participate in that, and obviously, the event, the ceremony starts at 8 a.m. right there in the amphitheater on the Summerville campus, with a start-finish line for the 5K immediately behind the amphitheater. So the ceremony begins at 8, and then the 5K begins at 8:46 to commemorate the moment that the first plane hit the first tower.
Yeah, 8:46 on that morning. What about the 9/11 curriculum? I love that y'all do this, especially with each passing year, because you fear, I do at least, that people will forget and that today's school children won't know about 9/11. I'm hoping and guessing the 9/11 curriculum addresses that.
Yes, sir, and thank you for asking. That's one of the newer initiatives that the foundation has championed, and it's referred to as the 9/11 Institute. Excuse me,
yeah.
the 9/11 Institute, and it's designed to do just that: is to be a resource for educators and teachers to have curriculum prepared to be inserted into their lesson. Their school day lesson plans that have been approved by the State Board of Education in all 50 states to teach who are the heroes of 9/11, what was 9/11. And so all of us remember where we were on 9/11, whether you were a stockbroker in New York City or a welder in Toms River, New Jersey, or a reporter or an emergency manager or a student at a college somewhere in Georgia. We all remember where we were.
Sure
the
do.
children don't. I've got 5 grandkids, and none of them were born on 9/11, and so they don't really understand unless we take the time to educate them on why this was such a pivotal time in our history and why it's important to never forget and continue to find ways to do good and let that manifest into community service and just love. And so it's a great opportunity to bring the kids. Run, walk, don't run or walk. Just come be with us
there.
so we can all remember 9/11 together.
It's so true.
And, the Institute has done a wonderful job of preparing and giving us tools to reach out to the younger generation and bring them into the fold of people that are passionate about 9/11.
It's so true. I mean, even if you're just there for the moment and you look out and you see the firefighters and you see the law enforcement, you see the veterans, it's beyond touching. We have about 45 seconds left, Joe. How can we help you? What do you need from the community? Is it just to go to the Tunnel to Towers website, Tunnels to Tower website, and donate? Is that the best way?
That is definitely one way. We want to encourage everyone to come and be a part of the ceremony, to be with us, to honor the men and women who gave their lives that day, and the rest of us who were impacted, who will forever remember where we were, like John was mentioning, and the initiatives that the foundation has ongoing, whether it's providing smart homes for those who are catastrophically wounded, the mortgage-free homes for our Gold Star families that we mentioned, or another initiative they've started recently, which is to really try and address the homeless veterans problems that we're experiencing as a nation. They have 2 separate initiatives where they have a village that they come together and they're building really nice residential complexes for our service members who are experiencing homelessness, complete with supportive services that provide them dignity, grace, and hope to get back on their feet.
I mean, there's a laundry list of things. I regret not booking both of you for the entire show so that we could cover all of the beautiful work that Tunnel to Towers does. But y'all have done a great job of packing this segment with a ton of info, and I know that the community will support you, especially on September 7th at AU. John and Joe, thank you for the time, and thank you for your service and your love for this country.
Thank you for what you do. Thank you.